Hello, friends. My name is Brad Rohr, and I'm here to talk about books. Specifically, the books I read in the month of June. I started out with Lord of Light by Roger Zelazny, and I don't think I was smart enough for that book. I had read a Reddit comment that it was a master of subtext and changed the way people thought about writing, and I just felt dumb while reading it. After that, I read Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by VE Schwab. Didn't know it was a, spoiler alert, vampire story going in. So imagine my surprise when at about the 20% mark, somebody turned into a vampire. There was a lot going on. I thought it was really well written, but probably not for me, but very good. After that, I read Sorcery, another Discworld book by Terry Pratchett. I enjoyed it. The difference between wizardry and sorcery, very fun, very funny. Classic Pratchett, if you will. I followed that up with a booktube recommendation. I looked at fantasy heist novels, and somebody recommended White Cat by Holly Black. Nope, wasn't for me. Didn't like it. I like to focus on the positive of these things, so I'm just going to move on. It just wasn't for me. I followed that up with Tigana by Guy Gavriel Kay, and it was a dense start. But once I got going, I really got going. I thought it was really well written, very engaging. And I think the reason I read it is that Matt Dinniman, who is writing the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, cites it as one of his favorite books. So I said, well, let's find out what inspires the artists I like. Let's check that out. It was good. It was really good, but really challenging. I followed that up with Songs of the Dead by Brandon Sanderson and Peter Arulian. And this has been the closest I've come to DNFing a book. I would say in years, but really since White Cat, 2 books previous. This one didn't feel like it was for me, which is weird. I love Brandon Sanderson. I love magic systems. I love rock and metal music, but everything about this felt hollow to me. It did not land with me. I recognize your mileage may vary, but it just, no. This is the first one that I've texted a friend who loves Brandon Sanderson, and I was like, you could probably pass on this one. Speaking of Brandon Sanderson, my nephew is reading all the Cosmere books for the first time, so I'm trying to keep up with him so I can have educated conversations about what Hoyd is doing in all these books. So I finished the month. I reread Elantris for the 4th time, or Elantris, and enjoyed it quite a bit. And then I followed that up with Warbreaker, which is another Cosmere book. So far, the least Cosmere-y. One mention of Hoyd, no mention of the shards that I noticed. Again, maybe they're the subtext. Maybe Roger Zelazny and Brandon Sanderson are both laughing at me with my inability to read beyond the words on the page. I don't know. It's been a really difficult month, and I feel like everyone is laughing at me. So, not great. But things can turn around in an instant. All it takes is one, and that's what we're hoping for going into July. So with that in mind, if any of these books resonated with you, if you think I missed some subtext in White Cat or Songs of the Dead or all of the subtext in Lord of the Light, let me know. Send me an email, bradrohrbooks@gmail.com. Find me on socials, which is probably where you're watching this. I am happy to hear from you. I am happy to hear differing opinions. As long as we're all cool about it, that's the best thing about art, is that it's not universal, that it applies to different people in different ways. Come on, get with it. Sorry, I got on a tangent there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll BRB. Brad Rohr Books.